Hi, I am Mushroom Conscience, and I thank you for clicking on this video. I'm sure if you clicked on it, you're probably intrigued by how, yes, that was me in late of 2021, raging crack addict. So much to the story, and I have to obviously do a disclaimer in this video. I'm going to be talking about obviously drug use and suicide attempts. So if there's any young kids that shouldn't be listening to this, you should please have them leave the room. And I by no means condone or advocate use of any kind of, this is just my story and what I've been through, and how via awareness, literally that's it, awareness of what I am part of, what I was born into. Literally, just without my choice, I was born into in this existence under a certain system that did not resonate with who I was as a soul, as a spirit, as a being of energy, a human. And thus, that is what I'm going to delve into and explain today. My little notepad here, which is I don't have no idea what I'm doing. I've never done this. I only have a couple videos, as you see. I don't just put it on my phone and upload it. I don't even have apps or any kind of way to manipulate or add cool little animations. So we'll figure it out, though. I just want to try this, because I've been ingesting magic mushrooms every week, macro amounts, 4, 5 to 6 grams every week for 6 months. Since I got my own apartment here. This is my place, and believe it or not, May of 2022, I was homeless, and I went into an inpatient rehab facility here in Houston, Texas, and spent 45 days, and then got out, and luckily found a bed, in an Oxford house, where you get a bed. You gotta share the house with a bunch of other guys, and it costs $150 a week. Did that for over a year, I do believe. July of 2022 to July 1st, I moved here. So exactly 1 year. I was able to get into my own apartment. This has been the most success I've ever had. I've had a 23-year crack addiction. And what a hell of a crack addiction it was. So, why, you're probably wondering how in the thumbnail can I attribute the capitalist system for causing my addiction. But Marxism saved my life. Because again, it's awareness. Reality is nothing more than information, sound, visual, smells, touches, the fifth one, taste, coming to our brain. Just information. It's information constantly coming in. How you react to it, that is what makes or breaks thus the reality before you unfolds. Your reaction thus consists of choices, thoughts, ideas, and actions. That changes your reality. What kind of thoughts, what kind of actions do you do? Unawareness of other factors into what makes us us, I have noticed, because of the ingestion of the mushrooms, it has taught me so much that basically you gotta start at the beginning with me. I was born autistic, or developed autism as a child, OCD at 8 years old. Horrible OCD. It would take me an hour to make my bed, the touching of everything with all my fingers. I had to memorize things before I could set them down. I had to memorize, pick it up with all fingers and look at it, memorize it, and set it down. Light switches, even number time, 2, 4, 6 times. Opening and closing doors, even number times. I was an 80s child, I'm 48. So I had parents boomers. It was, the system then was even more broken. It's gotten a little better with mental health, obviously, but back then I was yelled at. I was shunned. I was made fun of by my parents and my 2 older sisters. Would make fun of me for doing these quirks that I I would cry. I cried when I was alone because I didn't want to do it. I prayed to God, please stop. Please. I got that at 8 and it went all the way to 18 years old. So that's the kind of, and I played with Legos until I was 18. I had only one friend until I was 18. No one at school. But the beginning of my understanding of that I didn't like what I was born into started at 12. When my father, I was fortunate. You know, I had a father who was a brilliant engineer, owned his own construction company, and did some of the most meticulous, beautiful remodeling work I've ever seen in my life. And I've been in the industry now for almost 30 years. And, you know, so we had a good life in suburbia, Rochester, New York. And so connection-wise, the neighborhood, we all knew each other. And he got me to mow lawns, and I mowed lawns, made a bunch of money. And there was one particular neighbor who was, I could always tell was struggling. You know, he was just struggling. The dilapidated house, just unkempt, and plus obviously neighbors talked, and my house parties and neighborhood parties, blah blah blah. So I mowed his yard. He comes out with $20, and nope, I'm good. On the house this week. You sure? Absolutely, sir. Boop. I remember going home so happy that it felt so good. Wow, never forget that feeling. I'm in my room chilling out. A couple hours later, Dad comes home. I don't know how he found out. Maybe Mark, the guy just told him or whatnot. But my father throws open the door, my bedroom door, then throws a crumpled $20 bill at me. Don't you ever work for free again! Rah, 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 and slams the door shut. He was the kind of guy, right-wing, conservative. Rush Limbaugh was big at the time. He loved his Rush Limbaugh. So he was that kind of guy. He worked 360 days a year, only took off the holidays, to provide for the family. And he ended up having a mental breakdown at like 50 years old and abandoned us, like 50 something. I don't know, it's been 15 years. He's like Bigfoot. People say they see him, but no one really knows where he is. Because it's all he did. All he did was work, eat, sleep. Work, eat, sleep. For my entire life, that was what my father, he just worked, eat, sleep. Every so often, we would have some fun times, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And again, the holidays, 5 times a year he took off. That was about it. Broke him. So anyways, that was, then right there, that $20 bill. I knew then, I hated money. I remember starting to hate it because what it made, how my dad always strove for it. He worshipped it. But my autistic mind at the same time knew that. I remember looking around going, this paper didn't become this house. Money's an illusion. People like my dad made this house. It's right there. 12 years old. I knew that people working with their hands and their minds and putting thoughts and ideas, good actions, make everything. So we go, fast forward at 18 years old. Why I all of a sudden developed the quirk for other substances was 18. I started smoking weed for the first time. And within a matter, I just remember the moment was within a couple weeks, I was in a horrible OCD obsession. The perfect example would usually take me about 5 minutes to make a bowl of cereal. Kid you not, every even number of doors with a cabinet, hold the bowl with all the fingers, memorize it, set it down. Cereal box, the whole ritual to make a bowl of cereal was 5 fucking minutes. So here I'm smoking pot though. I remember watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, late night, Fox 31. Munchies, get up, go in the kitchen, and grab the bowl, grab the cereal, pour that shit in the fridge, pour the milk, grab that bowl, sit down in my room, start eating it. I didn't do the ritual. I just totally poured this. And I'm okay. No shit. And like that. Literally like that. I just sat there and I just wow. I smoked another bowl. It's like, wow. And I started doing things. I would just turn my light off and sit in my bed. I would leave my room, close the door just once, and it didn't. It was gone. It was gone. And I was like, marijuana is the savior. You know, the light blew in, doves blew in, and landed on my shoulder. It was a spiritual moment for me. And I worshipped marijuana. And I still do. We'll get to that. Yeah. Yes. Obviously, I'm taking magic mushrooms. That's the only two things I do. I no longer drink, except on very special occasions. I'll have one or two, and I hate it. Honestly, I don't like it anymore. The mushrooms have made me hate alcohol. And I smoke weed. So, anyways. OCD was conquered, and then from there I became obsessed with like other herbs and what can other things do to the mind. Experiment with LSD, some mushrooms, then. And many stories, amazing stories I could do whole videos on. Just, oh my God, things did happen on those experiences. But point is, I gotta get to the gist. I was still super socially awkward. I had a small group of friends, and man, I don't want to get to the stories of how those parties and stuff, I would be ostracized, and Steve-O, the weirdo I was called, it was just fucking bad. And I'm not going to get personal with the names and relationships, but someone very obviously close to me knew me my whole life. Also knew someone that did a lot of cocaine. But this other person that did a lot of cocaine was a fucking star of the city, musician, hundreds of friends, just a social butterfly. Please take my brother under your wing and do what you gotta do to just break him out of his shell. Well, his idea was to come here, do this, snort that. I'm like, what? Ah, more doves and light shining in. And then, let me tell you all my thoughts and ideas till 4 a.m. That's what I did. And, yeah, man, it did. It did. I was social, I was out there. But then I started noticing what started happening with me is, Friday night, I come to hang out at the bar. Great, Now, I was the new guy. I had no connections, no idea. I was always at the mercy of the popular people, that were luckily powerful and wealthy and blah, blah, blah. Well, they didn't always just break out right away. For hours. So I started drinking 2-3 beers in, and I started getting the pulls, the anxiety, like, come on, break out. I don't like this. This is lame without cocaine. And I started but back then I wasn't aware of what that meant. So that was the first sign right there. So one of the many signs, obviously. Then went on from 23 to 25. Now, my autistic mind got me in a life where I'm a blue collar worker. Okay. Why? Because I always, again, started as a 12-year-old. I just didn't like school. I didn't like the way the system was conformity. I saw all around me conformity. People conforming to be this thing about money. And it just, from the media that I saw to the people, when I would go to the malls and see this, and an autistic child back then in the 80s, man. Wow, it saw the world so differently. And it just made me constantly rebel. I hated standing for the flag because I felt like it was just brainwashing as a 14-year-old child. I learned about the history of the country, and I was like, hey, right then and there, I was like, why the fuck do people love this fuck? What the fuck do we do? Oh my God. As a teenager, I just didn't know, because the system didn't teach us that. It just, Red Scare, communism's bad. But what was it? No, we're not going to teach you what it is. Never taught what it was. But I was very smart with engineering. I had my dad's brain, but I sucked at school. I was a C or D average student, right? So this is important because this is what allowed me to get careers while in active addiction. And the careers allowed me to get homes, apartments and homes. But the other failing of the system for me is how kids with unique minds, the system just will throw them right out, because I was a D student, but my father one year bought me an RC car that was high end, but wasn't designed that well. And I was watching monster trucks, the ones with the 4-link suspension, and what they have now. This was back in the 90s when it first happened. And so I'm racing my RC truck, and it doesn't handle like what I see on TV. But I watch on TV, and I look at my truck, and I'm like, I could do that. What the fuck? I just get some fucking tool, and I started asking my dad, can you give me this, this, and this? And he was like, well, okay, sure, Let's keep busy. Get the fuck away from me. And I became obsessed. I taught myself literally architectural rulers and protractors and compasses, design the frames, cut it, fiberglass, meld it, weld it, solder, you fucking name it. I made these trucks, and they worked like I saw on TV. Kid you not. So much so that, I had blueprints saved, and I had 2 trucks made, and I brought them and showed my tech teachers. I was a 16 years old kid. Again, no friends. I had one friend. And, my tech teacher was connected. He was a professional drag racer, IHRA drag racer. He had sponsors, and one of them was GM sponsor. So wonderful. These are the few teachers in life. And then we get these few teachers that truly, he knew I was going to go nowhere, but he tried. He tried to save me. And talk to the person at GM. Look what this kid's doing with his designing these trucks and these blueprints. And this guy from GM looked at it, is like, this kid is using trigonometry. he had said trigonometry is being used. Brilliant. Amazing. But he is in 6th grade math. He's a senior in 6th grade, and he's failing it. He's failed it 3 years in a row. Yes. 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. I could not pass 6th grade math. Once I started getting algebra and A's and B's and D, X, Y's, but I taught myself how to geometry. So he couldn't do anything with me. I knew that I was about to be graduate and had nothing, not going anywhere out of high school. Where did I end up? The tech manager, the tech teacher, I'm sorry. His wife was the manager of USA Baby. So I got a job in the warehouse. And my blue-collar career started. Sorry, I keep hitting it. Picture looks good. So yeah, 18 years old, I was working in a warehouse. But my autistic mind saw a mess of chaos. Once I learned how things were, I was like, this is wrong. Within a week, I had a system down, paper jack. I just came naturally to my mind. And within, I think 6 months, if I'm not mistaken, they made me warehouse manager. Because I was mapping out the routes of 8 stops and a huge map, paper and pen, before GPS. As an 18-year-old kid, and I had 2 guys in their 30s, and they you know what? They saw, they're like, this kid can fucking run this fucking warehouse, whatever. Excuse me. Get over COVID. That's 18, so that's the kind of person I was, that job, but now here I am, realizing that's at 18, guess what? That's when I had to go to the doctor and tell her how I was feeling, tired and angry and always just sad and depressed. Here, take some Zoloft. Yeah, Zoloft. 18 years old, because I realized that I got in a 40-hour work week at a warehouse, and this is I didn't like it. But I did again. Okay, just popped it. 30 days, it did help. And I stopped at 30 days. Once the prescription was done, I stopped. For some reason, my mind never liked pills. But then also because I started smoking a lot of weed then too. So that was more, I think it was really the weed that helped, honestly. 1821, I get a factory job. I leave USA Baby because it was time to leave, and started working at a factory. Great choice. 21, 22 years old, plastic injection company. But then I quit that because it's horrible staying on your feet for 8 hours. People were leaving on lunch break and slamming 40s on lunch break to go back and just stand at a plastic machine, spitting out parts, trimming. So 8 hours a day. Smoking weed, drinking 40s, having sex. It was like like make a TV show about the life of a factory place. This 24-hour running factory. It was craziness. Because look at what we people had to do to survive. So go to the point. I quit that, and my dad's angry because I quit. I just fucking quit. So my dad ended up going. We lived at a Long Pond Shore Apartments because we were between houses because we were building a house. My dad was building a house, not we. My dad was remodeling a house that was built in 1830 because he could do that. Right before he had his mental breakdown and abandoned us. But anyways, he ended up getting me a job as a maintenance technician. He just went in and told the guy, "Trust me, my son knows his shit. Just hire the kid, please." Because all of a sudden I know my dad's like, "You got a job. You're a maintenance tech. Show up Monday morning, blah blah blah." So I was a maintenance technician at a very high-end waterfront property, townhomes, apartments, boat dock, and take me under the wing, and I naturally caught on, man. It was maintenance technicians. I had keys, all the apartments, which I never did anything, ever. Nope. I was always conscious so that I would not want it done to me. Don't do it to other people. Anyways, but we were roughneck guys, man. Smoking weed, drinking beers, and that's the age when I was turned on to cocaine. Because again, it was the people wanted to help me to break out of my shell. So here I have my own apartment because I got the maintenance. It's your own apartment, 1-bedroom apartment, overlooking Long Pond Shore Pond. Long Pond. The cocaine helped great until 25. That's when the guy who turned me on to it smoked it. Let's cook it up and smoke it. The point I missed, and this is important to why I became why crack in my brain locked. When my OCD cured, my cureness of it, 18, it didn't. It morphed. It morphed into something I call it's called OID, obsessive impulsive disorder. I'm told by a few therapists that is because what I did was I would put my nail to a dagger, and I would start digging at certain points that I could do, and I would dig just right, it would hit a nerve, and I would get a body rush. And I did that 18, all the way till cocaine use, crack use, because when you're coming down off cocaine and crack, that was the rush I was looking for. Go figure. So when I started crack, there was that rush with that hit. Fucking loved it. But for the first 10 years, the next job I got, maintenance technician, and doing smoking crack. It was just because that was life. I worked and I partied, worked and partied. That was my just existing. It's just unaware. As a 20-year-old guy, that was learning drums, kind of social life, sure. I was crack wasn't a huge fact. It was 3 times a week, at nighttime, and false, blah, 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 because I was able to recover. But then it started getting bad there. It did. Got bad, so what I do, I packed up and moved to North Carolina. Within a month, 2 months or so, I ended up getting a job as, it was called a place called Zobo TV. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm looking for a job, just dropping off applications everywhere. Zobo TV, what the fuck is this? Go in there, it's home theater store, one of a kind in Charlotte. Started by a certain man who started Snap AV, which is now one of the largest corporations in the world for audio video. Literally one of the biggest audio video distribution companies in the world. And it started with my company at Zobo TV. I helped start Snap. We got the first line of products. We shared ideas. It was a home theater, and the home theater guy, the owner, said I can save money by making stuff myself in China. And he started Snap AV that way. Here we are now, as I said. So that's, again, the kind of careers I had. Funny part is, where you move, you take yourself with you, as they say, absolutely. Which is a great point. You take yourself with you wherever you're going. You take yourself with you. So what do you do? You gotta change yourself. Okay, don't forget that. You gotta change yourself. Don't forget that point, Steve. Because that's what mushrooms did. They fucking changed me. God, did they change me. So here I'm working at Zobo TV. making damn good money, with a woman who's got also making damn good money. We got a house, $250,000 home we had built. I'm still using, but balancing life. But I remember the first year of working there where, it's like going to people's homes and making a theater room for all these millionaires. But overall I would go home and I felt empty. I remember one night, talking to my wife because I was at the bar and I'm mad, sad. I'm like, I hate my job. It doesn't do anything for me. But I'm a young 30-year-old guy. She's like, babe, we'll find something new. We'll find something new. Just trying to, placate me or whatnot. But right there, I just, that was 2005. I'm still an audio video technician. That's why I helped get this. I'm an audio video technician here in Houston for very, very high-end clientele, and I'm paid decently. Anyways, why didn't I feel like that this was right? Waking up every morning, Monday through Friday, overtime. I was working 10, 12-hour days. I was working. This company was, when you get into a job, you had to stay until it was done. I would stay till 10, 11, 12, midnight in people's homes till it was done, because we had another job the next day. We were slammed. Any chance I could. I wouldn't sleep, go to work. And then this is when I really knew. This is now in hindsight. This is the key when I realized, now it's got me. When at work, when the day would go bad, because I'm here, I was still in this, I don't want to be a crack addict. It's crack. You still do, it's fucking shitty, but man, it fucking had me. I don't want to be an addict, but I'm at work. Something would go wrong. Something would just be frustrating. And I did not want to deal with that frustration. So I would always, I started saying, just text. Yo, man, you could be good tonight after work? Yeah, I'm good, man. Come on. All right, I'll see you when I'll call you when I'm out. All right. Okay, now I can, whatever, man. Throw your shit at me. I'm going to get fucked up tonight. And that started happening almost every fucking night. I started using almost every fucking night. Not sleeping 3-4 days and still going to work, and I was just one of the first. That last 2013, when I was almost I pretty much looked like that. I've been through that skinny phase there, you see. 2013, withered away to almost nothing. Zoa TV, and the whole story was bought out by another company. They hired me because I was still so good. They knew I had problems, but I was good. But they finally couldn't have it. I was just enough. I was a wreck. I was a mess. I looked like shit, dude. Band-aids and pick marks, and I was bones poking out, bone rail, ribs. They had to let me go, but man, they helped me out. They threw me, severance, a couple weeks, couple paychecks extra here. All the crap. Ended up losing the apartment. My mother was staying with us. She was staying with us for years. The wife left me, divorced me. My mom ended up still staying. My mom stayed while I was married. It was just a 3, My mom, that's another story. But the point is it was so bad we were getting evicted. We were getting evicted out of the apartment in North Carolina because I couldn't pay the rent. She refused. My mom gave up because she was an alcoholic. Worked her ass off at JCPenney for $9 an hour. She stayed there for 10 years. After 10 years of working at JCPenney, $9.25 an hour. And then the IRS took all their money out of her bank because my dad, who abandoned the family, he owed the IRS. The IRS went after my mom. So she gave up. She drank herself to death, literally. Literally drank herself to death. I felt responsible because we were packed up and the place I was going wouldn't take my mom. I had to leave my mom that was with me for years. But I mean, I was just again a skeleton. I was gonna die. I knew I was gonna die, and these people were trying to save me. And I'm like, it could just have to be you, dude. I'm sorry. And the last thing I remember, my mom was laying on a bed without any sheets. You know, everything's packed up, and I'm like, Mom, I gotta go. She's lying in the bed crying. I'm like, I love you. I'm so sorry. I love you. And I got in my truck and I drove 800 miles back to New York. And 3 days later, my mom died in her sleep. And it was, I felt like I broke her heart. I literally broke her heart because the autopsy was her heart stopped. She took an afternoon nap. Just didn't want to wake up. So, that started. Sorry. That started the roller coaster life of success to utter homelessness. So here I had a mind that when sober, I couldn't believe the jobs I was getting. Got to New York, and I was so driven. Oh my God, so driven to turn my life around. And I was smoking weed, having a beer every so often, but nothing. No crack, and nothing. Alcohol was never pulled me. Talk about that later. I was driven. I got a job at a carpet store and I hated it, but I was putting applications out for audio video because I had experience now. 9 years experience, Now it's like 2013, got the job, 8 years experience. 2005, 2013. And I got an interview with Toshiba, Audio Video Solutions, the audio video department of Toshiba that does jobs in hotels and hospitals, colleges, universities. Crazy systems. Newsrooms where the screen was literally like, I think it was 13 feet tall, 10 feet. Oh my God. Hell of a high. I had to get 3 separate interviews, teleconference with Buffalo, tie, suit, and they said there were 53 applicants that they were choosing from, and they chose me over 53. Why? They said I wasn't as qualified as the other people. It was my charisma. It's like they're like, you're gonna work with 3 other guys. And they're like, you'll see why. When you work with them, and yes, those 3 guys were fucking amazing. It was so cool. And, oh my God, starting pay was not bad, but you did New York State wage. If I did a job for New York State school or hospital, $53 an hour. And but I relapsed. One day I just went to hang out with my fucking cousin at the bar. We're drinking 3-4 beers in, and literally, he's like, hey, cuz, look what I got. Big fucking rock. No! Smoked that shit out in the parking lot. Within 30 minutes, we're calling up. We're fucking heading to a crack house. That was that. And I couldn't do it. There was a woman in my life that was pure hell, and I was smoking crack. I was hiding. I was living with my sister. Turmoil. Got kicked out. Ended up being homeless, living in an abandoned house with my cousin. He was a heroin crack addict. I was crack. I started doing heroin, snorting heroin, not shooting, snorting it. Ended up homeless. Then ultimately, suicide. Suicide to end up in the psych ward for months. Months in a psych ward. Rochester psych ward. Got out of that. Went to a Norris Rehab Center. Norris Rehab Center, 30 days, get out. I made my whole rehab about her, about the ex. And she egged me on to the day I got out. Can't wait to see you, baby. The day I get out, get ready, waiting for my apartment, this shitty fucking place I was gonna move into. Hey, can't wait to, I'm seeing other people, so it just, good luck with life, Clip. And I had $70 in my name. It was January in Rochester, New York, 10 degrees. I spent 7 hours walking around that city, getting crack, smoking it, going back, or just walking through snowbanks, going to Home Depot with some guy and Matt stealing stuff to get fucking how we did it. We didn't get caught. And that started that. And then I actually was somehow ended up within a month walking in a stereo shop. An audio video, car, home theater. Walked in there with my resume. Toshiba's on there. Zobo TV, audio advice. They asked me some questions. I answered like a champ. It's like, when can you start? You start tomorrow? Yeah. Oh, got the job with them. That is when I was introduced to crony capitalists. Crony capitalism. These were on two guys who owned stereo shop, just two buddies. Who were the kind of people that just had to have material, everything from RVs. They each had like 2 jet skis each. They each had 3 cars each. They each had 2 homes, beach homes. Oh my! They had properties, rental properties. They were just, and they had the stereo shop had about 5 employees, and all of us were miserable. We were all fucking miserable, smoking, drinking on the job, smoking weed, drinking. And I was still using, but I was good. So I was so good at my job that these owners risked their entire company for me. How? Kid you not. They decided, because I couldn't save any money, I couldn't function, I couldn't feed myself. When I was relapsed, after my mom died, when I was relapsed, I could literally not pay any bills. I could not feed myself. It was the dire hunger, be bread or scraps. I would literally found old pizza out on the street once, and it looked okay, and I ate it because I was hungry. When I was working full time at stereo shop, I was going through dumpsters. Because what they decided to do to help my addiction was, their idea was to put me into an apartment, a little studio apartment, which wasn't bad, but it was downstairs, had little windows, because it was a basement apartment. Studio, wasn't horrible. And then they paid all the bills. They paid the rent, they paid all of the cable, and I just got basic cable, and they paid the energy bill. And they gave me a $50 a week food card that could not be changed for cash. Crack dealers don't care. $50 is 40 or 20. 20? Okay. So that is when I did the ultimate. That was the ultimate suicide attempt there. It looked like my apartment looked like a Dexter episode. Because the time ran out where the gig was up. I still had a job. I was supposed to go to work. And my cousin was staying there. He wanted to use my truck, and he offered to give me money and crack if I could use my truck. And we were snorting these pills he gave me that I don't even know what the fuck they were. And at 3 a.m, I'm just lying in bed and I had to work. And I'm like, no. And I just got up, and this is his razor blade to cut the pills up. I grabbed the razor blade, and I just sat up, and I went up the river, and it sprayed. And then I just walked into the bathroom, laid in the tub. No, it wasn't 3 a.m. I'm sorry. It was 8 a.m. The sun was up. That's right. Because that's how I got popped. I got a text. Where the fuck are you? I remember I was blue. The fingers were blue. But I was still hanging on to consciousness. The scars here. Believe me, I got health records. I got oodles of health records. Where are you? And I just remember barely just going, fuck off. And I just took a picture of me lying in a tub with the blood pooling down, the wrist just gashed. Chink, sent. Put the phone down, and I thought that was it. There's like no way. I was fading. I think. it just seemed like minutes. It just seemed, bam, bam, fucking door blasted in, man, and fucking, it saved me. I was saved. Spent weeks in a psych ward, back into a rehab. 2016. I mean, this happened again. I got success. I was high. I can go on for an hour. The point is, rehab, great, wonderful. I started writing. I got Facebook famous, thousands of followers. I mean, I could write essays on Facebook, and I would get 100 likes and comments of people because I was sharing my recovery. I guess I had a knack for writing. I don't fucking know. That was in my old Facebook. That Facebook's gone. I can't get into it. Anyways, point is I ended up getting a job with Seabreeze Amusement Park as their apprentice electrician for life. I was told. Another job where they were hiring process. I was already the 32nd applicant. And it was run by like 3 or 4 mechanics, 1 electrician. Terry was 46 years. He was an electrician for that amusement park. One of the oldest amusement parks in the nation. 3rd oldest in the nation. And I was the 30th something interviewee. And the hiring process was with the manager. And then the next stage was sit in a golf cart with Terry and drive around the whole property and talk. 30 minutes talking with Terry, just shooting the breeze, man, being me, being cool. Get done, and I remember sitting in the window. Manager comes out. I can see through the window. Terry's still in his golf cart. What do you think of him? I like him. All right. Comes in. Congratulations, you got the job. And I mean, I was bringing home $900 something a week. And I ended up relapsing again because I was alone. I couldn't handle my thoughts alone. And the work was arduous. It was 6 days a week, 10-hour days. 11-hour days. 6 in the morning you got there. 5 p.m. you punched out. 1 hour lunch. So 10-hour days, but 11. And it was outside. In Rochester, New York, on the Lake Ontario, all year long. So that's why I experienced the cold. I had to deal. It was getting good money, but to wake up, I had no vehicle. I had to take the bus to work, and it was an amusement park. It was, oh my god, the pictures and I was sharing, and people loved it. It was great, but in my head, I was sick. I didn't like it. No. I remember sitting and waiting for the bus. Going, this is my existence. This is not existence. This is no. I go, yeah, I'm great. Work for an amusement park. And just one night, remember, every relapse was because I started drinking first. Alcohol. I started to drink every day. A couple, 2, 3 beers. That's it. 3, 4 beers every day. And then it just one night, alcohol's a natural depressant. And every single relapse, all 5 that led me to homelessness, or 4 or whatever, sorry. I already lost count of how many. Was because I was drunk and I was miserable. And I said, fuck it. And I found it that time when I was working at Seabreeze and still staying in East House. I was in East House recovery in my own apartment in supportive living. Relapsed in Seabreeze, they knew it. Even the counselors knew it. Said they were trying to, I was able to slip the P's test because how the hell did I slip the P test? Wow. I don't remember how I did that. Oh, because they stopped testing me because I was so trustworthy, because I was a staple recovery person. That's right. When you're in supportive living, they would random if they only saw something, and it was too late by the time they saw something, because what happened is I went downhill so fast, and I got to Memorial Weekend, and I was binging so bad. And I remember I binged so hard. I went through $900 in 3 days. And I picked my face during those moments so bad. It was appalling. 3 or 4 blood scabs. It was horrible. I was like, I can't. I literally texted, I quit. Don't do this. Get your ass to work. I'm sorry, I'm sick. I gotta go to the hospital. I'm sick. And they said, fine, let me go. Once I knew I was officially fired, and then once East House knew I relapsed, they came and they talked to me, said you gotta leave by tomorrow morning. And you're gonna go to the Salvation Army, find a homeless shelter. So that night I binged, and I was able to finally, that night I binged, and I got drunk, and I said fuck it, and I got one last 20. I think I had to try to do the whole thing in one monster. I held it, the razor blade, did it again. Oh, the pain. It didn't stop the pain. And it was bad. The universe is weird, man. So, bleeding out the floor is a huge puddle of blood. I remember I wrote in it, I am hopeless. For some reason, the counselors came in. I remember I was smoking a cigarette. I didn't give a shit. I was so dehydrated. I don't think it was like, fuck. I was smoking a cigarette. Fuck. Big pool of blood, but it wasn't bleeding enough. I was like, fuck. And then all of a sudden I hear, oh. I'm like, hospital, here I come. And I remember their look in the faces. They walked downstairs, and I'm trying to picture them turning and seeing a dude blood in a pool with "I am hopeless" written in blood. I remember the cops coming, and the Rochester cops like, "Whoa, what the hell? What the hell happened to you?" And I just remember saying, "I was attacked by a tiger." Yeah, I think he laughed. Back to the psych ward. That's the kind of addict I was. Now, Christ, this is going to be a long video. How bad I don't even think I go that far. In a nutshell, there was something that happened. I was hit by a cop by accident. It was an accident on my bicycle. He wasn't looking. What guys did? Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I broke your foot. I ended up getting a $10,000 settlement, and that took a while, obviously. So in my recovery, after my relapse of that one, where it's a pool of blood, hospital, rehab with one of the most broken Clifton Springs piece of shit fucking rehabs you could ever experience. The militaresque, like no fun, no play, no nothing. And I was again so rebellious because I was like, oh, you fascist pieces of shit. And I had a breakdown moment where they had to drug me, they gave me a shot and knocked me the fuck out for 36 hours, and it was bad. So it was to the point where when my 30 days was up, I got my diploma. Goodbye. But that's it? I'm supposed to get the next program, next step. No, sorry, our system's all booked up, and your 30 days are up, so doors that way. But so what does that mean? That means you have to leave. But I'm homeless. I have no money, no job, no nothing. That's not our problem. What? I thought this is part of the recovery to get me back. Nope. So I remember sitting outside with just a cell phone with very limited minutes left and going, and I made some calls, said, you got to get a social worker. Social worker was able to connect with me. She came, she picked me up, she took me to a homeless shelter. This homeless shelter was in Rochester, New York. St. Joseph's Avenue, whatever, something. I stayed in that place for a couple months. With 150 homeless men, huge gymnasium-like place, cots. You would think. The smells, the showers, bed bugs, fleas, cockroaches, rats. Here I am in a homeless shelter. What was my life? How did I end up here? How do I keep ending up here? from the homeless shelter, they sent me, New York State, sent me to a place called the Elks. The Elks is where they send the scourge of the city. Look it up. The Elks on Clinton Avenue by the bus station. Murderers, rapists, pedophiles, drug addicts, homeless. Anyone, it's one of those places like you said, Blues Brothers. Transients welcome. Anyone, you got 100, I think it was 400 a month. You get your own tiny room with a bed and a sink. You got to share a toilet and a community showers. There'll be shit on the walls. There'll be screams at night, madness. There's like a deaf guy always walking around, cracked out, holding knives. People smoking crack, and then guess what? You know, I got notification that my settlement was official and was kind of checked would be within 30 to 60 days. And this document was official, looked official, and I called up a person and said, "Hey, do you think this could work for I'm getting this much money? Think it would work?" And she had the connection with one of the bigwig Jamaican in Rochester, and he wanted to meet with me. He wanted to see it himself. He drove up in his fucking Range Rover. I sat in it, showed him it. He said, "Okay, this is the deal. I will, anything you want, it's going to be double though. So, have at it." And he goes, and I'm like, "How high is the bill?" He goes, "It's no more than 10,000. I'm like, "Okay." My tab, within 45 days. So I got the check a little less than 60. It's like 40, 50 days. My tab that I owed him was $5,200. But what kind of person was I? I just knew. I was like, you don't fuck around with these people. And she let me know. They let me know. You're entering the realm. Now, once I passed 3,000, they're like, you are entering the realm of, you better pay this. That's how they would say it. Just say it without saying it, kind of thing. I knew, no duh. I did. I remember going to the bank. Bank teller, I had to be all acty. Here's a skinny fucking scabbed out. "I'm buying me a truck. Guy wants cash only though." I have bad teeth. I'll explain that. Very conscientious of my teeth. It's part of my addiction. In the system, one of my guys that cost me $10,000 that fixed. Anyways, so back to the truck. I go there, not in a truck. It's not a truck. Just cash. Get it. Go to McDonald's. Grab some food because I know I'm about to. I'm of course asking them for. I'm getting $5,200. I'm asking them, like, can I have a whatever? So, anyways, I get in his vehicle and I gave him a McDonald's bag with $5,200 cash. I didn't think you had it in you, man. Of course, you didn't even be fucking through me. And I was like, "Thank you." Dropped me off. Off to the races I was. Because now I still had thousands. People cared for me though in Rochester. Friends, family, everyone, they knew I had the money, and they knew I was self-destructing the Elks. And I was pushing and shutting out the world. So I ended up spending 2 weeks in a rehab because I still had $1,800 in my bank. Went to the rehab, hope I could save it. First month rent or something like that. I couldn't make 2 weeks. I knew I had that money, and I fucking hate it. What was I gonna get out? Go back to fucking work jobs, more to audio video. It brings me no joy, but I'm good at it. I'm fucking good at it, but it does nothing for me. So what I create, if anything, I'm creating for the fucking wealthy that don't need it. I've had people that get mad that one of their 8 TVs doesn't work. It's like a shake 'em. So 2 weeks, I only make it 2 weeks, and I get out, and the one guy that wasn't the Jamaican, was someone else. He had his own house, and he stepped in. He left a text. Yo, man, you need a place to stay. I remember getting my phone. I got out, opened my phone. There was a text. You need a place to stay. I got you. Hit me up. I was like, oh, what? Well, what it was, word got out. When I was in that 2 weeks, I was popular. So popular that twice, people I didn't know, dealers I did not know, came up to me like, yo, man, check this out. Lay shit in my hand, walked away. Or not like that. Well, follow me to the bathroom. Talk, give me here, try this, here's my number. And yeah, I'm like, okay. And the only thing I contributed, I never was told by anyone, the only thing I contributed to for two people to that I didn't know, to say, come here, let me talk to you. And obviously this guy knew I had the money now, and he said, I got a room for you. The deal was no rent. It's a room to smoke as much as I want. Just keep on smoking. You stay as long as you pay. I got down to $300. $300. And it was the woman that I regret losing. This woman, she's the one I let go. Excuse me. Side effects is gas. Crack use. This woman hardly knew me, except through Facebook. When I was Facebook famous, I would write a lot. She fell in love with my writings a lot, and we became Facebook friends and Messenger friends, and just very mutual whatnot. But she knew I was suffering and misery, and she, for some reasons, she was very religious, and God told her, she told me that God told her, help this person, take him in, help him. She had 4 teenage daughters. Now, 4 daughters. 15-year-old, 2 13-year-olds, twins, fraternal girl twins, and 11-year-old. So 4. I lived in a 3-bedroom townhome apartment with 5 women. It was different for me. I cherished these people. They were such wonderful people. It's like, oh my God, the energy, the creativity of these girls. The woman, brilliant web designer and just so cool and just great. And her daughters were just the most creative, funny. Oh my God, it was great. I enjoyed staying there. She turned me around, man. No smoking cigarettes, no nothing, no smoking weed. We would have maybe one. We would share a tall margarita once a week. That's it. And got a job with Best Buy. And Best Buy somehow, my resume was seen by Geek Squad, and Geek Squad stepped in, and then they offered me a job while working at Best Buy. They took me, and I got a job at Geek Squad. So now here I'm sober. I'm in Houston. I bought a drum kit. I got my own apartment, not this one. It's another place, the Energy Corridor. Working at Geek Squad, apartment, band. People from my past are coming to my life, family. Life was amazing. 2018 was surreal. Drinking a little bit, not much. Not really even smoking that much. I started drinking more. Man, I'm doing a lot. Playing a lot. I started to get home and get out of work. Geek Squad sucked. I hate Geek Squad. Fuck that place. Getting home from work, slamming beers. Going to wine. No, I'm sophisticated now. I turn my life around. Look at me. Drinking alcohol. I was drinking 2-3 glasses a night. Then a bottle a night. Then I started realizing, oh shit, I'm starting to break into a bottle and a half a night. The people at work started saying, dude, you're losing weight. You okay? You sick? Huh? I started getting moodier, angrier at things, and I'm drinking every fucking day. My playing started suffering. My drumming started suffering. I didn't have the urge to want to even play. I ghosted a show. I didn't show up for a show because I was so hungover that I was like, fuck it. I let down 2 guys that were embarrassed. Because of alcohol. I wasn't smoking crack. Alcohol made me do that. And then one day, a woman I was dating for not even 2 weeks, I thought this was it. She ghosted me. She only ghosted me for a weekend. It was a new relationship. Maybe she was on a date with another guy and didn't work out. And oh my God, Steve is actually great. I'm going to go back to Steve. But no, in my head, as I'm hammered, I was drinking every day for a year. When she ghosted me that night, I called up one of the weed dealer I knew was from the city. He was like, "Yo, man, you got any yayo?" "Yeah, got you right now. Come on." "What? I've been sober 2 years, 2 months. 2 years, 2 months. Oh my God, I got shit. Oh God, fuck. I can get it right now. I can get it right now. Oh my God, I can get it right now. Oh my God, I can get it right now. Oh shit, he's waiting on me. Fuck it. You did 2 years. 2 years. You fucking party tonight. You're not gonna fucking fuck this up. You're not gonna fuck this up. Have your fun tonight. You did so good. Celebrate, motherfucker. Fuck yeah. We're gonna fucking do this. Fuck yeah. That night, and 60, gone. Hour, call him back up. Another 60, gone. Call another 60. One night. $180. Friday night. Saturday night, did it again. And I remember Sunday waking up, going, okay, fuck. I had $4,000 in the bank, savings. Saw $500 gone. Saw $3,500. Jesus, dude. Remember looking around my apartment going, you are not gonna lose this. Not gonna do it. I lost everything. It was one of the worst relapse. It gets worse. This was the last one finally. And this will summarize the story here. Managed with Geek Squad for about a year. Relapse, January 2020. What the fuck was it with that year? And I got fired from Geek Squad November 2021. So that much time to stay with Geek Squad, but I withered away to that picture. That was shortly before I had to go in. When I got fired from Geek Squad, but something else happened. That was shortly before I went into recovery in May of 2022. So, but the biggest thing, this is the precipice of what launched me to a totally unique form of recovery that has made me aware of the system, of everything. So here we go. It's getting near the end of the story. So thank you for hanging this long. I hope this isn't bad. I'm again just absolutely winging this right now. I didn't write a script or anything. I just relapse started by 2020. I never got health insurance because I was like, no, it's a for-profit system, and I could just be giving it money and never use it, and fuck it, I don't care, and I'm using it all the time. I don't care about myself. I hate my fucking self. I don't get health insurance. That's for people who care about themselves. So they tried. Best Buy, Geek Squad tried. They knew. They fucking knew. And they tried. They gave me like a month hiatus paid. Go in to get recovery, and I didn't even stay a day. I didn't say hours. Like, fuck this. Kept using. So now COVID hit. Isolation hit. Dealers didn't care. Still dealing every damn day. More money coming in because I was furloughed and getting the stimulus. Oh my God, my neighbors fucking hated me. I smoked. It stinks so bad. I smoked so much. I estimated well over $60,000 in 2 years because I never paid rent. Because now no evictions. Cracked out brain. I haven't slept in days. I would during this relapse. I realized I probably slept about 2 days at most a week. Less than 16 hours a week of sleep for 2 years. No joke. As I started, I did not fucking stop. And so now I'm not paying rent. COVID comes, COVID goes. I'm still using. They fire me. And I ended up getting another fucking job with another company that actually paid more. Higher end company. I know. I worked for actually billionaires. Did homes for billionaires. One of the couples that was the husband was on the Federal Reserve Board or shit, whatever. I remember seeing the plaque on his wall. Jesus Christ. He had an LED light up stairs, spiral staircase. It was just crazy shit. Couldn't make that job either. I lasted. So what happened was, Geek Squad lost it. A little bit of sobriety between because I had no money. I was going to churches for food. But I was still able to, my power was shut off constantly. I was, a neighbor, one family member sometimes helped me with the power sometimes. It was just bad. I ended up getting this other job. Great. Paid $50,000 starting salary, company car. And, I was bringing home $800 a week, basically, or something like that. A little bit, whatever. Smoking $790. I couldn't feed myself. Wasn't paying rent. Wasn't paying... Sometimes I'd pay some energy bills, keep the lights on at least, so I can cook up my fucking shit in my electric stove. But, that is when, all of a sudden, it came back. Rent came back. And now, here I was, $9,000 behind on rent. I didn't pay for almost a year. My rent was like $875 a month. That was $9,000. So I was getting evicted. Eviction notice, eviction date, sheriff date, blah, blah, whatever the fuck it was. And it was the moment. This is when I had the moment before I went into recovery. And this my brain changed in this moment. And maybe it was because there was a couple times when I remember I was 3-4 days no sleep, drinking beers, whiskey, didn't matter, smoking crack, and I would get some mushrooms. I need some mushrooms. Just because I wanted to go nuts. I wanted to lose my mind. I wanted to either die or lose my mind and just be a basket case. I just want to give up on life. So, it was a night where eviction was coming, and I just broke down. I just broke down for some reason. I just remember looking around at my once gorgeous apartment, and it was filthy, messy, garbage, filth, empty beer. And I collapsed on the floor, and I just silently screamed. I grabbed my head. I was in a fetal position. And I remember just grabbing my head, screaming, how could I do this again? How the fuck did I do this again? I lost it. All these images flashing of when things were beautiful and I was great and happy, and then flashes of smoking crack, it was like a lightning storm of images of just, it was a fucking nightmare of just. But then while that was happening, I heard me. It was how I'm talking like this. Picture this going, come on, Steve, dude, look at you, huh? I fucking love you. Why are you not angry like that, not like that. Just, you could do better. Come on, get up. So here I am screaming, writhing, but then that voice just washed over. And I was like, and I knew it was me. The real me. The real me that always knew. The one that was like, why did I do this? And there was the real me who's going, well, you know why you did it. So I stopped. I was like, whoa. And I sat up. And it was like a wash of calmness and clarity. I was like, and I just sat there and I stared at the wall or something. And I was like, yep, I was someone else. I just was someone else. And the next day, I called up recovery places. It ended up being Senecor. And in Senecor, every test, you gotta you gotta call 7:30 between 7:30 in the morning, 8. If you get on calling, check for a bed. By the third day, they knew I wanted it because I did. I woke up, set an alarm, poof, woke up, called. Day 3, by like 12 p.m., 1 p.m., get the call. See if we got a bed. 2 days. Okay. And I had a couch, 70-inch 4K TV screen, furniture, dishes, brand new memory foam, mattress, bed, little trinkets here and there. And I left a note, piece of paper, because I knew the first people in there would be the maintenance men. I said, to the maintenance men, everything in here is yours. And I packed up a bag of clothes. I did grab my surround system. Just these speakers. Just the speakers and receiver. Because it could fit in my trunk with my bag of clothes. I was like, I'm going to do something. I love my music, you know. I love audio. Audio video technician for 20 years. So, Senate Core is where I entered and was different. I was under finally, just the person that said, Steve, you know you could do better than that, is the Steve that is aware of that this existence is not right to him, to all of my personas. We are many personas, I believe, is my opinion. And so what I experienced that day to me was like my higher self, one of my higher selves. One that's just like, if I just listen to him, if I just have his thinking, his eyes, his gut, his pull, his intuition, I'll be able to turn my life around. But why? Here I was 47 years old. Why? Why am I 47 back in Senate Court inpatient? I stayed there for 45 days. But when I was there, guess what? It was finally officially, because this Steve that took control of the helm. It's like, you suffered, Steve, your entire life because you were born into this system that you know is not normal, is not natural, is not right. It's exploitive. It was born from feudalism. It was born from slavery. You know, feudalism was just, they're all kind of like an evolution where uprisings of the labor force forced the people, the ruling class, to go for a little bit more. So slavery turned to feudalism, and then it goes by only for so long, and then consciousness changes, times change. You know, dialectical materialism comes into play, and things change, and then more uprisings, and the ruling class has to, okay, we got to change this and make people happier and keep them from uprising. So we've got to make them like, you know. So it turns into capitalism. But looking back, look at all these jobs I said that didn't bring me any joy. But it's a system to where, oh, you want to live on your own? Okay, great. Here, you live on your own? You're going to live on your own. Live? No, you're not going to live unless you give us something. Unless you give us your energy and your time. That's what it is. Time and energy. Your energy of moving things, thinking things. Keyboard, screwing, driving, cutting, this, what the fuck ever. The workers, the laborers, the blue collar guys. I'm out there working for these capitalists who I see with their 10 cars, and especially like the owner of Zobo TV was, his mommy and daddy gave him $100,000 and he invested it in some blockbusters in Portugal in the 80s, made some big, one of those again, and then starts a business on Zobo TV, and the business grows and does wonderful because of the tax and the people working in the store selling the jobs, and we're paid the least, but we made everything happen. We're the ones working 14-hour days sometimes, working in attics that were 130 degrees, on ladders 20 feet up on roofs, risking our lives, and I'm making $16 an hour. If it wasn't for me and my wife's money together with her money, we would be able to get that house. And then the market crashed, lost that anyways. But the point is, Steve is telling me this in Senate Core. Look back, Steve. Look at the roller coaster that you've experienced. This roller coaster, now here all of a sudden, because I was able to go into memories and remember the memories of how I felt, how I thought, what my thinking was, my perceptions, how I thought and perceived the world in those memories, and how it played a role in the reality that I created. And then thus seeing, well, shit, every time my reality went really wonderfully and good is because I was pretty much sober, or was not smoking crack or doing cocaine or drinking. Those three. Crack, cocaine, the same. Those two. And weed made me always create. I love weed. I just always want to create and do things. So that was never an inhibition, and it never led me to try something harder. You know, what made me want to try something harder was existing in a system to where you realize that, again, you want to live on your own. You got to give us something, or else we will turn off your power. We will evict you from your shelter and kick you out on the streets, and good luck to you. Unless you keep providing, keep giving us labor and energy and time. Labor is energy. What is this? What is that? And I understand. We got to keep society running and going. Fucking great. Labor. Yes. Let's make things. Let me do something that, you know what? I probably would be loving my job if, again, the wealth distribution, because this guy had an idea and some capital, he's able to take his idea. Oh, I had this idea. Got those right investors, these right people, makes it happen, makes some phone calls. Here, yep, here's my money, take the money. Okay, good. And got the people together. We got all these little people, all my soldiers down here. Okay, go. And it works. We, laborers, made it work. You know, we rarely called it, you know, we would decide how the company, but no, he would intervene with how the company was running. We ultimately always followed orders because capitalism is a militaristic, hierarchy-based system, you know? So, sometimes obviously the workers would say, it's better this way, do it this way. That's what I meant by that. But here you see that. You're like, okay, I'm like, I've always seen that. I'm like, why the fuck? Just because they had the money, they could sit back and allow workers to make more money for them. Because we're making all of the actual value. Because wait, you're charging the clients how much for our labor? $150 an hour for our labor? I'm making 15. I don't even make 50. $150. And now it's $200. $200 in some trades an hour. But workers make an eighth of that. A fraction, 12th of that, I don't know. I make, less than $30 an hour. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this. But again, my existence was always, you wake up and you're like, God, I have to do this job, which does not bring me any joy. I have to do it. I have to do it. Or else they will take away everything. Who the fuck is this American freedom bullshit? American freedom is an illusion. They tell you that so you can keep working happily, giving to the few, the capitalists. But guess what? Even these capitalists owe money too. Everything can be taken from them by someone else, and someone else, and someone else ad infinitum. That word goes. So this is the kind of person I am. I just wasn't aware. I wasn't aware that, oh my God, this is an existence. Because the vast majority of my life was doing work that was arduous and tough, and you're working with wealthy millionaires, billionaires who are bitching and moaning, complaining. I'm sorry, sir. And you're doing it for $16 an hour, $15, $17, $18. Some techs at most, maybe like 20, 25, really, really good ones, and programmers and whatnot. Close to 30. But every capitalist that has us techs is charging $150 minimum, $200 for our labor. We get $20 of that. And now it's not enough. I think I'm just enough. I don't have health insurance. Why don't I have health insurance? Because I'd rather enjoy a little bit of my life. Because if I paid my $250 a month for my health insurance, that $250 is pretty much all of my social life. My time to go out and buy a little of this, buy a little of that, my mushrooms. And so I choose not to have health insurance and take a chance on life. Because, by law, if I do get hurt, they got to work on me. And hopefully that never happens. But I tore my thumbnail off. This was only a third of it was hanging on a screwdriver. Went right in, wedged it, ripped it. It was flapping. I had at work, paper towel, electrical tape. Get back to work in 30 minutes. Okay? for this, yes, and I did it. Grateful. I was homeless. So, but that's the point, is when I was in Center Corps, this awareness Steve, I was known as the socialist. And let me tell you, there was a Nazi, got tattoos all over his body, who was very, very mean and angry, flat out straight up Nazi. He tried to start a fight with me, and I stood right up to him because I was, believe it or not, bigger than him. And it was all mental. I was like, dude, go ahead, throw a punch. We're in Center Corps. Bye-bye. I was loathed. I was not liked that much. I was ostracized. I didn't care. I loved it because I felt like, you know what it is to be really woke? I think that's why they're so anti-woke. Because being really, truly woke is realizing the capitalist system is a system that is not natural to the human spirit. There's nothing natural about individualism and competition. You know, you're just lonely. You're constantly... You're worried about your job, your anxiety of worried about losing your job from competition to someone better. And if you lose your job, you may lose the power, you may lose your fucking place. It's constantly anxiety. Why the fuck are people on antidepressants? Well, there's your guy. Oh, now we drink alcohol, now we do fucking drugs. Because we exist in something that's constantly draining us. It is draining us. It creates addictions because I swear our soul, our spirit knows this isn't right. And for many of us, drugs is an escape to a life of just existing to work and sell our fucking labor to the fucking ruling class. When our labor should give us so much more. We should, because the workers make the world what it is, we should be like, there should be, the class is bullshit. Classism is bullshit. That's what capitalism is born off, the idea of someone's being superior than others. So thus we're better than these humans. We can make these humans do what the fuck we say because we're better, richer, more powerful. That's what capitalism is, an ideology of superiority. Thus you see why it came from feudalism, came from slavery. It is an ideological framework of bullshit, darkness, and supremacy. Whatever culture holds that thinks they're superior. Now we're faced with that now, and I was like, not just white people, so get it out of your fucking head, we're all fucking humans with all of our own individual gifts. Again, my autism, I was allowed to create these wonderful trucks that people wanted to buy them from me. But it was 1990, so internet. These things were amazing. 4-link suspension, I designed it myself. And no one's like, we can't do anything with this kid because he didn't do school right. Hey, he's amazing. He's fucking amazing. He discovered trigonometry in his own. But he didn't do school. He did not conform to the school way. To conform to the school ways, to conform to the capitalist way. That's really what it is. So that's why capitalism caused me to be that skinny fucking crackhead. I allowed it. It didn't cause me. I allowed an unawareness Steve, unaware that the existence is this meaningless existence of what was my other choice. My other choice was to become a capitalist and own my own business. But then I was like, but I see what the owners, I see what managers, people that go higher up in the owners, I see what they go through. Sure, they have a lot of things, but ultimately, I didn't like money. I didn't like material things. It never did anything for me. I was more just fascinated with just the wonderment of what reality was in space. I wanted to just go into the stars. I was a daydreamer. I was a kid I hated the reality around me. And so drugs were a perfect escape. And now, so, maybe you've been thinking like, well, maybe I'm escaping with mushrooms. Mushrooms doesn't work like that. Now, again, if you never have experienced minimum of 4 or 5 grams, we're like, wow, where reality around you changes and your consciousness is whisked away, then do not judge. Because it is something you have to experience when you're done. For when you can't overuse it. Because guess what? If you try using mushrooms the next day, half of what you get. The next day after that, half of that. You get a day after that, half of that. Until literally, it's like eating a baby Bella mushroom. It'll do nothing to you. So you can't overdose on it. But now I have done it every week for 6 months. And I'm glad I do it with intention. Intention is paramount because you realize like this will expand my consciousness. So what am I going to do in this short 3 hours that I have when I'm under the power of the mushroom. And I always ask it. I've asked it for months. I sure do have fun with music and drumming, and oh, I love it. But I've always asked it, why was I addicted? Why was I always sick? Why was I always getting success and sabotaging it? Self-sabotage. Oh my God, did I self-sabotage? Why? And finally, after months and months, there was a particular trip, and the piece slowly, time. It would never happen like during the trip. Oh my God, this is it. It was days following. It was laying in bed. It was just sitting on my couch, staring at a wall, going, all these connections were being made. The stories I just told you. And it is so clear to me now that, yes, right now I have all this because I have a job that pays pretty decent. Guess what I do? I've been sober since May 22nd, 2022. Sent a court till July 2022, got into Oxford House, stayed with 7 dudes, changing constantly. I got the job within a month, getting out because of my resume, and I was just in a different framework. When I went and sat down for my interview, I owned it. I knew I had it, and I did. Just the confidence that you visualize it. It does help manifest it. And so the difference is, now I have the awareness of how dark and sinister the capitalism is. I call it the capitalism. And it's amazing as I work with people, and this is the beauty of it, the unawareness. People's asleep. As I work with people, one of the guys I work with works 3 jobs. He's brilliant, professional opera singer. He's a brilliant network administrator. Holy shit, the guy this stuff can do with networking, oh my God, scary. Like stuff you see in movies. Does that. Professional opera singer, teaches singing, and has to drive Uber at nighttime till like sometimes 11 o'clock at night to pay for the house he has and all the bills. And he fucking loves capitalism. Don't you dare talk down capitalism. But capitalism, he's not aware of it. I'm like, dude, that's sad. You have to work 3 jobs to exist, or else you lose your home. And what? You okay with working? Because he's against. Because I tried saying, I can't believe minimum wage is still $7.25. He's like, it damn well better be. I have to work 3 jobs. You see what it is? Superiority. I'm better than someone that's working at Burger King because I'm a network administrator. I'm an opera singer. I'm a teacher. I'm gonna drive Uber too. I am better. People that work at Burger King better make $7.25. Get that out of your fucking heads. We are a human. We deserve the things, energy. Once we discover, like Tesla wanted to say, what amazing when Tesla was like, oh my God, I can't wait to give energy to everybody. That's like me when I can't wait to mow this guy's lawn to help him out. You see, people are naturally pulled to help community, because when one fails, the community will come in and lift you up. But no, capitalism's individualism, competition, you lift yourself by your own bootstraps. Shit. Sickness. It's not normal to wake up for Amazon warehouse workers. You watch the Amazon people get out of their trucks, run to the fucking door, drop the package, run back to the truck. They're told to do that. Go to Walmart. Take a look at those employees. Go into a Dollar Tree. Look at those employees, one of those festered Dollar Trees all disheveled. And just really look at the employees. Look at the employees when they're ringing you out. Wonder what's going through their mind at this. They have to do this. And they're doing this, and it's not enough. It's not enough for them to survive. And they still have to deal with what they have to deal with at Walmarts and Dollar Trees to not even be able to survive. Why are people's minds breaking? Why do people go to drugging and drinking? Because of the system. Capitalism, absolutely, is one of the prime reasons. It is so big. It is so all-encompassing. It's a shroud of the dark side around us. So that we don't see it. We're not aware of it. We're just giving something to this thing. And we know it's not right, so we escape. So many of us escape. The people that don't escape are probably because they're sociopathic and don't have the empathy and compassion, and actually enjoy the capitalist system because they are driven for material wealth and greed and strive for individual accumulation of wealth themselves. And they know they're using labor to get money, and they don't care. Thus, there is now a difference of people. People that are calling all these wars, and all these are people that they have the mindset of a capitalist. It is a mindset. It is a character trait to be pro-capitalist. But there's millions that aren't aware. Like, I was unaware. I never wanted to be a capitalist. I didn't want to see my dad. My dad was fucking miserable. Worked every day of his life. He fucking hated it. He always told me, don't ever start owning your own business. Work for someone, get benefits, get insurance, get this. So I was told that by my father, who was very successful. Do not do this, okay? And then ended up breaking his mind. So the mushroom showed me all this. When you ingest the mushroom, you cannot help but see. It just, think about it, again, with intent. Intent. It's not going to always happen right the first time. It may take a few trials, and all of a sudden, or it may, whatever. It's different for everybody. But it's understanding, and that's why Marxism helped save my life, because Marxism is basically understanding how, material needs, depending on the material conditions and the consciousness level of society at that time, is, and everything, every single thing. Wealth is made by workers and hands, machines made by workers. Capitalism is nothing more than someone lending you $20 and asking for 25 back. Maybe that $5, where's that $5 coming from? And why? Why did they get that $5? For trust? For time? That $5 still came from your labor of making something, doing work. So it's nothing all capitalism is. Or people that don't do anything, extracting, sucking the labor. Wealth created by our labor, the wealth created by our labor, and able to multiply it by not doing any work. So the stock market is, I literally did a job for a guy who said he made $10,000 while sitting at his computer. We were putting in a system for him. He gave us a $100 tip each because he's like, I just made $10,000 today. And what was he doing? He sat at his computer. He was just basically playing a game on the stocks. Oh, people, he's got a mind though that can analyze. Great, wonderful. Can he put the good? Can he put that to good use? But no, he's actually stealing. All that wealth was created by workers, not by a person sitting at a computer. Unless a person working at a computer was actually creating something that benefits society. I could go on forever with this, but that is the gist of those two Steves. A Steve that understands how dangerous and dark and corrupt and vile and exploitive capitalism is now. I refuse to let it beat me again. It is keeping me sober. This awareness is the most empowering, most powerful knowledge one can have, that it wasn't my fault for succumbing over and over again. I kept getting great jobs, but it was in an audio video, and I should have been grateful. I kept working, paying. But that wasn't me. It wasn't me. I meant to say, no, there is a different way to do this. Oh, I am a communist. I may change my channel to Mushroom Communist. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I think mushrooms are communists by nature as well. Communism is more human nature. It's communal. We all help each other. We're not better than anybody else. We all have our own individual goods and bads to share and work on and grow together and better. We're all a network. Everything is connected. A mycelium network, the mushrooms are. Our consciousnesses are all linked, where everything's linked. Capitalism is the one thing that tries to separate that. Capitalism needs to end because it is killing everything, the planet. We are killing each other over it, over greed, envy. Capitalism is all like so many of the sins. It's come on. Again, when you take mushrooms, you see this. I see it, and since I've been ingesting them, again, I don't want to drink anymore. I see now exactly what my addiction was and how I can never ever go back. Oh my God, it's like I am a different human. I am literally a different human than I was. I'm reborn. I can't explain it. And again, I don't know how many times is that. 30 times every week, 6 times 4, so it's 24 times. 24, 4 grams, 5 grams. I did one. You see on the channel there, 8. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I've already chatted. Hopefully, thank you if you've been around this long. I'm hoping maybe this may not be the one I even share. I may watch it and be like, oh, I gotta do this again. I may just do it because again, it's heartfelt, came right from the heart, literally just came out. probably a whole little, not too scattered. No script, as you see. I'm just looking around at I do love this apartment that I made this because I don't know, everything just started. This is just growing. All I want to do is create things, record things, drum. Mushrooms have just made me want to create my reality. It's amazing. Crack, maybe an obsessive person for more crack. Mushrooms just say, just create, because that's what existence is about. Leaving your mark on your existence, leaving positive goodness. We can change the world, the entire world. We could have probably world peace. It's possible without any violence if they just pushed mushrooms like they promote alcohol. If everyone would just eat mushrooms and we all learn with the proper teaching and schooling, you have the right intent. You do these mushrooms with the right intent, and you'll help you create because you feel peace and love, and it would change consciousness, would elevate us, and probably the whole world would change. The whole world would change. Because everything around us is made by thought. And if you change your consciousness, and mushrooms do beautiful things with consciousness and such wonderful things, the world would change if they would just legalize across the world and promote it, sell it, advertise it. Change yourself for the better. It is brain, pure energy for the brain, and it's amazing. I am in love with the mushroom. The mushroom is in love with me, and that's my story for now. For this one, I have a lot of other stories, and I hope this gets some views. It's a topic that I can delve into so much deeper. All these topics, because I got the crazy mushroom brain now. I get very analytical and very deep on stuff. So hopefully this attracts some attention. Let me know if you like some more topics on this stuff and any more insights that I have. Thank you so much.